start the game whenever they want. So a best of 5 up here for you tonight. Going to be seeing who can come out on top, get themselves into the next round of playoffs. Going to be Toph and Gary up here against Elder Goose and Computer RL. Straight over into the orange end, and Computer low boost but gets a lob. It's not quite on. Toph off the top is able to hit it straight back over, and it's going to be going back and over off the wall. Straight over to Gary, tries to get the connection, doesn't quite have boost, so just tries to make the momentum work, but that's going to end up with the ball flying over into the blue end. Computer knows there's still a little bit of room for error, so falling back does not want to allow any aggression. Gary tries to force it, and Toph going to try to force this out over towards the net. Elder Goose to stop. It's going to be a play now. Gary going up against him, kills it to the wall. And it's going to be a 4 minutes 20 timer left on the clock. A little bit of a bump in the midfield, and now over under the wall. Elder Goose trying to play that, doesn't quite get the connection, so Gary, low boost, leaves it for Toph, who trying to play this out. Elder Goose gets a touch mid, and Computer, a wide open net, but Gary gets back just in time. Barely able to save that one in time, and Elder Goose having to play this down along the midfield. Gets it back over into the orange end. It's back to the wall. Computer trying their best just to fight back into this, but it's going to be a lob downfield, and Gary trying just to follow this into the net, but it's stopped. Computer to try to replay, and it's going to be Elder Goose to eventually tap it back over towards the goal. Touch back to the wall, and in the corner now. Toph trying to play this, but Computer stopping it. Just trying to get this back towards net. Elder Goose a lob towards the corner, but it's going to be going back into the blue end, and Gary just trying to force the issue, seeing if he can aggress something against Computer. Toph might be able to read this, but can't redirect it on, and Elder Goose to boom away. It's back up to the midfield. You can see Gary just trying to get something, trying to get an opening. Does manage to get one. It's a pass back to Toph. Can't get it on, but it's off the backboard. A lobber, a little bit high. Toph tries to go up for the redirect in, and you got to give him effort. Give him credit for the effort, sorry. But it's going to be hit right back towards this goal. Gary stops. It's back to the wall. Toph to play. Can't quite get the first connection. Might have worked in his favor as a little bit of a fake, and it will actually end up winning past Goose for a little bit, but the eventuality is going to be that clear. So 2 minutes 40 left on the clock. We've already elapsed almost half the game. Computer to play it mid. Toph to catch, trying to dribble this through. Managing to touch it high, though. Goose denies. And it's going to be back into the corner. Back over to this man, to Gary. Just trying to open it up. But Computer sneaking it past, and this could be a shot towards goal, but no boost. He just has to pray, and the prayer will succeed. So we score more, going to pull off the first goal 11 seconds into the second half. Computer just having too much time in front of that goal to line it up. At low boost, but it doesn't matter as the first one scored from the Blue Boys here. Going back towards mid, Goose does stop it back over towards the net. It's going to go high. It's actually going to go a little bit more mid than they expected, and Toph almost able to sneak that one in. But Goose going to be able to force the issue enough to get it back towards mid. Pass to the teammate. Computer putting a lot of trust there that the clear is going to come through. A very risky scenario if it didn't. And now, no boost again. Same scenario as last time. Toph to take it. Does manage to get a double against the wall, but that ends up just centering it for Goose. Goose, just a nice little lob over towards Gary, so it's just a little bit of a slow game. Toph to retake control. It's down towards their own net, so you can tell Computer trying to get a little antsy and go for it, but no boost now. He's boostless in his own goal, and Toph, a beautiful shot into the top right corner, but denied by Goose. And it's bouncing mid. Gary is going to be still in this end, trying to get boost and fall back, and Computer still just using whatever boost he can find. He's been so starved yet again. Just not allowed to get absolutely any boost, but Goose is absolutely making up for it as Toph's shot denied again. And with only 70 seconds left on the clock, this one goal could be all we see. And it would secure the game for sure for We Score More. But staying true to the name, they want to try to come out here with at least 2 goals. And they're trying to open it up, but Toph's retaking the ball. It's back over to the blue goal. Gary, having to fall back a bit, decides to press the issue a slight bit too much, gets committed. And that's going to be a drop to Goose. Back to the corner. Gary to touch. And Goose trying to see if he can line something up, ends up allowing a clear over him. But Gary can't really press that issue too much, and you'll see Computer trying to turn. It's going to be a pinch off, and Toph actually redirecting that towards goal somehow. But 30 seconds. Ball finding its way over towards the orange end, but into the Fennec of Gary, passing it up to Toph. Actually, Fennec brothers, and they try to make a familial shot come through, but Toph to try to play this out. It's touched down. It's over to the corner. Computer trying just to take advantage of the open net, gets it past Gary, but Toph is there and plenty of boost to try to play it out. A lobber, 10 seconds. They've got it in the blue end, but they still need to find this equalizer. Computer kills it, just getting it over in front of the orange goal, and that should do it. Gary would have to make a miraculous play, and he's going to try to start it. Computer just kills it into the ground, and we score more. Not able to score more than once, but able to score more than their opposition to claim the first game. We score more, going to be able to take the first game of 3 that they need. 2 more on the table. Valley looking to tie it back up. We've got some support in the chat for the We Score More side. Just 2 gamer girls, Jericho A4, cheering on their friends Elder Goose and, of course, his dynamic partner, Computer. They've taken the first one. Toph trying to reaggress this back over towards mid. It's going to be Computer to play it. Trying to read his opponent like a proper Computer, and it's going to be Elder Goose taking the ball. Has to try to force an issue, and the issue kind of fades away, but the shot goes through anyway. It's off the top. It's back over to Computer. A forced 50 from Toph, but still goes into this orange end, and it's going to be hit mid. It's going to be a play here from Goose. You're trying to see exactly what Gary's lining up for, because he has to try to read out what that play is going to be, and it ends up opening the goal up. And what a disastrous situation, just an unfortunate scenario. You can see the bump there, the T-boning, forcing Gary to go for an aggressive play to get that clear away, and he's just not able to read that they're just falling off the ball completely. And it's going to be a crack in the armor showing yet again for Valley eSports, and we score more, have scored yet again. A name finally ringing true. But the ball going to bounce back into the orange end. Toph does have the opportunity to play it. Elder to deny, and actually Toph going to win it out. Back to the wall. Computer to play. Getting it back over into the midfield, and you can see Gary wants to try to aggress this issue. Computer taps it mid. It's going to be touched back over to Toph. A pass coming through, but they don't quite know what they want to do with it yet. Gary deciding he wants to try to press the attack. A flick. It's going to be denied by Computer. Back to the corner, and the commitment from Toph leaves him in the goal. Back over into the orange end now. But the aggression faded, I say. But Toph looking to force this issue immediately. A shot. It's going to be a beautiful play from Toph. And what is that? Gets out of the play completely, takes it from the blue defender, and just decides to carry it in front of this goal and drop it off like a Christmas present. It's going to be a 1-1 game tied up, and Toph, what a way to strike back into game 2. That's going to be a play. Elder Goose trying to make it over into this orange end, and Gary going to be trying to actually get this ball back over into the blue. It's going to be a play. Toph to get it back on target, and a fast one, but Computer. I mean, you know, one of the fastest things you own is your Computer, and he's trying to make a play work, but Toph just a little bit faster. Trying to get over in front of this goal. Elder Goose, a 50 forced. It's back over into the midfield. Computer not quite sure if he's going to be able to play this out. And a bump onto Gary does open up this offense. It's going back over, but Toph reading it midair. It's going to be hit back down, and it's going to be a play over in front of this blue goal. It's opened up, and Toph takes advantage, and you can just see the split second. They were uncertain here on the We Score More side, one of the few times. And Computer gets off that ball. Goose just doesn't know it's being left for him, and Toph has to realize in that split second that the goal is open and takes the shot at the perfect time to sneak it in. So we're 20 seconds away from the halftime. We Score More finally at a deficit for the first time in the series. Valley eSports looking to try to fight back in. And Computer looking to try to fight back in as well. Getting it over to Goose. Can't quite redirect it on. But Gary was lining himself up anyway. Toph killing one of the offenders. So if Computer commits a little bit too much, this could be a very good offensive play. They're trying to fake out here. Toph, I think he was trying to go for that hit. It's going to be a play off the wall from Elder Goose. It goes a little high. Can't quite read it, and Computer has to fall back to defend. It's met with the 50 in the corner. Now trying to play it to the wall. It's Toph trying just to grind out in front of Computer. It's a one-on-one. Gary not going to be able to get that ball away, but does manage to get it forced to the wall. Toph to play. It's up off the ceiling. It's bouncing down mid, and now Gary just trying to deny the offense, but ends up centering it. Goose, though, kills it to the corner. Gary, 0 boost, trying to play this out here. Does manage to get himself back up to full, touches it just in time, and now Computer overcommitted into this blue end, but he's given time to regroup. Gary, a nice little adjustment midair, and Toph with the ball, but they can't quite find a way to get it on target. Boomed away from Goose, but low boost leaves it mid for Computer. It's going back to the wall, and we're not quite sure if the offense is dying down or picking back up, because Toph, nice little adjustment, he's in front of the goal, and he's just gonna drop it in, and yet again, Toph coming through and finding some way of getting this ball back to himself in front of the net. And what a drop-off, another Christmas gift left at the tree. And 1-3, he's definitely feeling festive. 90 seconds, it's the season of giving. Well, almost. It's almost the season of giving, and the only thing these guys want to give, it seems like, are L's to the others. We're trying to see. Is Elder Goose going to be able to play this off the corner? He gets a little bit too far in front of it, and Toph trying to read this out. Gets it back over to the wall, and now it's going to be a play. Computer getting it past Gary, and that's going to be an interesting decision. Computer gets it back over into the midfield, tries to play this up, but allows a shot towards goal, and isn't able to direct it off target. And the interesting decision is Computer, he doesn't know that Elder Goose is in the goal in that spot. He hits it back towards mid. He tries to get there, and it's going to just allow an opening shot, and they just can't get behind the ball. Elder Goose trying to find something, but with only 60 seconds, they need a hat trick to tie it, but that's the first of 3 as Goose just gonna brute force a ball directly past Gary. You can see, just takes control past Toph. Might be known for earth-bending prowess, but can't seem to replicate it here on the pitch. 54 seconds. Tapped back over into the orange end. Computer going to be able to play this. It's an opportunity for another shot. It's touched mid. Gary just going to be killing it. It's back to the corner. But a boom away from Toph. Is that on? Oh my god, it's so close, and Computer having to deny it near the goal. It's going to be Computer trying once again to get it out, but touched by Gary, and now it's back to the wall with Goose. Toph, though, reading it and just going to kill it back to the corner. And it seems like right now the strategy for Valley Esports is, hey, you know, if we score more wants to try to score more, they certainly can, but if we just keep the ball in their end, I don't know how they're going to get at the goal. They've found some way to do it, though. It's back over into the orange end. And a demo onto Toph, going to open up Computer. A shot a little high. Goose can't quite get the follow-through, and that should pretty much seal the deal. With only 5 seconds left, it seems like we score more. Not going to be able to capitalize and get back into the match. Toph, you see, going for a 5th goal in the game, 4 straight to get them back into this win. And a tied series at 1-1. As Valley Esports bite back. And my voice cracks. Because of course it does. Of course it does! And you can see, jumping immediately back into the action, nobody wanting to cool down even for a second. Everybody playing a pristine Rocket League and absolutely looking to fight back into it. Computer trying to play this fast towards the goal, but Toph kills it to the corner. Gary managing to get another touch, and that's a back pass, but touched back over to the wall. And it's now going to be touched down to Gary, who wants to open up his teammate. Toph looking to see if maybe a demo's on the table, but it's going to end up having to be a playback as the ball passed back over to Computer. He's trying to find something, and it's going to sneak past, so they have to just reassess their defense And Toph not giving me time to speak or them time to think. Just gonna sneak a ball right in behind, and that little bit of an opportunity that they had to regroup and reassess, it turns out was just a facade, and Toph was directly in their backline waiting to strike. What a good opportunity seized from him, and Valley Esports finding an early lead yet again. It seems like they found some sort of system that's working here against We Score More. It seems like actually a message I saw in the chat from seems like Jericho84 was saying it seems like there's a lot more aggression coming out of We Score More, and I've been thinking about that for the past few minutes, and honestly, I think that's what's costing them. I think they're just getting a little bit too aggressive, getting too far into this orange end, and they're allowing one too many opportunities. You could see there the previous goal coming through basically exclusively because of that over-aggression, and Toph punishing it yet again with a demo. So maybe they'll try to fall back a bit, but Goose, of course, he's got a teammate demo, but Computer's here. They're double committed on the ball, and they're trying to force an issue, but it's Toph to touch it back towards the blue goal. And it's going to be a pinch off the ground, a pass perhaps, but it goes a little bit too close for comfort. Gary has to play it back. Toph tries his best to force it in, but a good 50 from Goose just denies it towards the corner. A good save. And Goose trying to back pass that. 0 boost, so now just forced to play it off the wall. Gary thinking that maybe the no boost was a fake, but no, it was indeed. He was just running on empty. And Goose now just trying to get this pass, but Gary, such an aggressive presence in this end. Toph maybe aggressing a little too much, as if that was a very risky play that Toph just went for. As if that gets one out, it's basically a goal. It's going to be a touchback towards Computer. Gary trying to play it. It's touchback out over towards the corner. And not trying to play this up. Toph touches it mid, and it's just going to be killed. Not sure exactly how that play fell apart. I mean, they had a demo for it nonetheless, but a well-timed touch there from We Score More denies the offense, and Toph just gonna find another crack in the armor, and once again, the over-aggression from We Score More. They're trying to find something, and you can't really blame them because they've been hitting their shots. They won the first game, for God's sakes, but they're trying to figure out some way to tie this back up. They're trying to get a little more aggressive, and it's just punishing them. Toph has 6 goals over the past 2 games so far, an absolutely dominating presence in the entire server, and they're just being overwhelmed right now. It's gonna be a play back over towards this ball yet again, and Gary, oh, just a little bit high. Toph tries to kill it off, but now Goose, he wants to play it back over to the wall. It's gonna be a touch. Oh no, Gary actually deciding to let this fall a little bit further back. Maybe anticipating a little bit of faster play, but it's touched towards the goal. Toph having to play this along the goal line. Goose does what he can to try to capitalize, but hit back to the blue. Minute 56, it's going to be touched to the corner, and a shot denied as Computer along the goal line. Going to force a 50, gets it back over to Goose, and they're starting to get another offensive play. Computer setting up for a pass play mid. It's going to be a shot, but to the corner. Gary trying to push up and deny, but just gonna kill a little bit of time. And I mean, you know what? That's perfect. I mean, you're up 2-1, and they've just allowed another goal. They can't deny it. And how? We're talking about how Gary's playing this as slow as can be, and perfect reasoning. I mean, you're up by 2 goals. There's 100 seconds left. Just kill some time. And we're talking about how slow it is. Everybody's in the slow pace, and Toph just forces a rolling goal from across the field. We Score More just seem like they're completely out of their element right now. I think that they've been in completely dominant fashion for most of the season, and you can see their 4-2 scoreline from regulation shows it. And I think when Valley Esports just shows up with this aggressive presence, they can't quite figure out how to transition their defensive gameplay into an offensive win. And they're over-aggressing, they're over-committing, and it's just allowing too many cracks. So 60 seconds, I mean, Game 3 looking like it's got to be Valley's way, because this ball has been basically touching an orange car every, 2 seconds for the past minute. They might be able to sneak in a goal or two, but we're looking at a 2-1 lead going Valley Esports' way, and I'm just trying to figure out what can We Score More do to try and open up something. And I think what it's going to come down to, as Toph I mean, does it even need to be spoken about? He just wins it past yet another one and another open goal. I think that what's just going to have to happen is they're going to have to try to figure out some way to sneak into this end, figure out some way to get a goal, and just be able to play defensive. That's basically what their game plan has to be, because they know they can play well defensively, and if they play well defensively, I think that basically they just have to go for the best defense is a good, or the best offense is a good defense. And I'm just getting blown away because we're talking about how We Score More can try to fight back in game number 4. And Gary just decides to take it off the wall, just carry it, and deliver it softly into the goal. And I mean, with only 20 seconds left, there's not too much to play for left in this game specifically. We Score More. They're mainly looking at trying to fix their mentality, go into game number 4, refreshed, ready to win. And I think they just need to put up the best damn defense they can and hope that they can force out some sort of mistake. And in that goal being denied, it's going to be a little BM there from Gary at the end. Don't think I didn't see that. Don't think I didn't see it. I saw it. Tries to sneak it into his own goal at the end, but even that's not going to go their way. But a 2-1 lead now for Valley Esports. They're going to be seeing if they can take their first round of playoffs 3-1. We Score More. A lot to think about, but they're going to be thinking about some way to force off 2 rounds straight and get themselves a win. Going into game 4. We Score More. A lot to do. But they know that they can do it, and Elder Goose going to be trying to do it fast. A shot, but a little bit too far left. Gary to replay this. Getting a nice flip, but Elder Goose, a good denial with a demo. Back to the wall. Trying to play this up off the ceiling, and Goose, ooh, a touch mid. It's over to Computer, and a 51, a 50 that they needed to win. And Toph catching it. Let's see if he can win out against Goose. Doesn't quite. And it's going to be a play back towards the wall. Computer tries to play it for a bit, but ends up leaving it to Gary. It's going to be touched off the wall and go back mid. Actually, Gary going to kill it over towards this wall a bit, and Toph going to be allowed to catch it yet again. Computer denies. It's back over into the orange end and up onto the wall. Toph yet again trying to just get some sort of aerial play going. Gary comes in. They weren't quite expecting it, but it's a little bit too high. Computer, a pass over, and finally Elder Goose going to be allowed to shine as a beautiful pass play to open up game 4 as We Score More finally take advantage of a chink in the Valley Esports armor and manage to sneak it into an open goal. 4 minutes 9, a fast replay there, getting themselves back into the round, and Toph trying to do the same. He's getting a bump, and that's going to open up Gary, and that was just so expertly played from Toph. He knows. He just knows that Computer's totally tunnel visioned on the ball, comes in, just bumps him out of the way, and where's the other player? He's already over towards right side mid off the kickoff. So an equalizer in less than 6 seconds. And Valley Esports are showing some absolute dominance. And Toph, another brilliant play. Back over into the orange end. It's killed high, and Gary just wants to try to set this in towards the goal. It's an attempted double tap, but it's going to be left over, lobbing towards the orange goal, and Elder Goose gets the lead right back. It was a nice play. Toph does get the demo, but unfortunately Gary just did not connect on the hit, and sometimes that's just what happens. It doesn't matter how well you play, it just needs to be some sort of a successful touch, otherwise you open yourself up to that just open goal scenario. Computer tries to play it mid. He's going to be able to somehow win that high, Toph. I'm not sure how, especially after being bumped and/or bumping. I couldn't quite tell what exactly they did in that slight exchange. But Toph gets it back over mid. Gary tries to kill it straight into the goal, but it's going to be back over in front of the net and back to the corner, actually, but Gary letting it drop there. It's a forced play. Computer almost manages to sneak it in, and they are trying to get themselves into a 2-goal lead, and it's good. They've got their confidence back, but Computer gets himself the ball lost, and Elder Goose was a little bit far committed, but is able to get back for the touch. And now a roller as Toph managing to kill it. A 1v1, but barely met by Computer and a shot denied. The dribble not going to be working out this time. They've finally figured out his tricks. And Computer getting a demo somehow there onto Gary is going to open the ball up yet again to get the ball rolling off the ceiling. It's going to be touched down over towards mid. And now just trying to play it. But Gary denies. Computer just waiting to see how this lines up. But it's going to be touched by him, and he's trying to get this back over, but Goose just killing it back towards the corner. Computer kills it, but Goose can't redirect it on net in time, and Toph just going to get the demo. So the offense a little bit weaker, but Computer by no means giving up, getting a demo of his own onto Toph. But the ball left mid. Gary's already off it, so Goose, an offensive chance, gets it past Gary. Gary grabbing the boost, though, going to leave him at nothing. And Computer has to not allow this ball to get behind him. He is the last man of defense. Leaves it for Goose, who has managed to get himself some. Now touching it back mid. Going to be a play back over. Goose manages to get himself up. And Toph touching it back mid, but it's just going to be boomed away. Not on goal, but Gary was ready for it. Oh, but Computer! He's able to press the issue enough that you see. It's just an attempt to get out of the end there from Gary. Just a normal touch, just trying to clear it, but he whiffs, and Computer's ready. And he's just able to capitalize in time to get 3-1 over Valley Esports. And the dominance from a last game seems to have evaporated as Toph looking mortal. Computer looking immortal, much as machines do. But with zero boost, he can't do too much in this end, and Toph able to force it out. It's a play from Goose back into the corner, trying to touch it off the ceiling. Toph kills it, but it's going to be mid, and Computer just a slight 50 to allow it to boom away towards mid. Onto the wall. Toph to play. It's a little bit high, and is able to get a touch back towards the corner. But now Gary just wants to try to get this ball back towards net, and you just can't quite see exactly how they're going to open up a play. You thought there for a second Toph might be able to see something. Gets it past Computer, but Goose has too much field and too much boost, is not going to let that one slip past. Computer just a touch mid. Toph does kill it high, so still an opportunity as Computer missing a rare one. And Toph tries to come through, a little bit of a fake, trying to force Goose off for the teammate, but Goose clears it away. It's back over in front of the net. Getting off the ball completely. That leaves Computer perfectly open, but they don't even need to score. They just need to kill time. They're just leaving the ball mid, but Gary is lining himself up, but the demo onto Toph and the boost on Goose is going to be enough to get this ball back into the orange end. Touch mid. Gary dead again, and it just seems like every time there's some sort of opportunity to attack, it is a denial immediately and some sort of death onto someone's car. So with 2 seconds left and a 3-2 scoreline, 3-1, sorry. It might be 4-1 here in a second. Let's see. Nope, 3-1. With the 3-1 scoreline, we score more, fights back in, and they are going to be trying to get themselves a win in the playoffs right now. 2-2. They looked like they were going to be swept away, but let's see who wins going into the final one. The first best of fives of playoffs on this channel, and it goes to all five. Quite fitting for two top tier teams, as we're seeing right now. We score more, not going to go out without a fight at least, and they get themselves two. It's a 2-2. This game is it. Put it all on the line and see who can win. Gary gonna have to deny that shot. Elder Goose, a beautiful opener, but it's gonna be shut down on the goal line. Gonna be played back mid. Gary trying to play this back over towards the net, but it's gonna go to the corner and it's gonna bounce mid. Computer just killing it. That's gonna deny the offense as Goose comes through, trying to make an aerial play work. And Gary, it's gonna be a 1v1, a 2v1 as Toph comes up to support, and is going to be just the Gary show as he's starting to get it back out over into the blue end. A touch passed, and Goose has to play this. Touches it mid, but Toph's already here. Can't touch it on net, and the demo onto Gary is going to allow a play back towards net, but Toph finds a crack again and reads it against Computer's clear and is able to sneak in the first goal yet again. Sorry, against Elder Goose's clear. and just going to completely deny any semblance of a lead that We Score More had. So 1-0. And Valley Esports striking first. We Score More, they can't allow themselves to fall into that same rut they found themselves in Game 2. Because they know that they are capable of dominating these guys. They just need to get their shots on target. Computer trying to open up something, but Toph allowing it mid. It's going to be Computer, a little bit of a fake, but Toph, just a patient man, going to allow it to go back towards himself and trying to do it all. Gets a touch, gets a double touch, but not going to be able to beat it past Goose. Doesn't quite get the flip reset he was going for. Almost able just to sneak it into that corner. Gary, a good pass. But Computer denies, and it's bouncing mid. Gary off the wall, but Toph there to deny it. It's bouncing mid, and Computer just going to try to play this back towards the net, but Toph, oh, a play in and a fake almost gets past Goose, but he's wise and able to deny, but Computer can't deny the follow-through from Gary as a 2-goal lead regained. Gary just knows that Computer's caught off, and a rare miss there from Goose is going to leave Computer in a scenario where he has to go for a save, and just was not positioned well enough for basically what was a penalty kick. It's going to be a hit back over, and Goose to play immediately. He is going to be allowed to get the boost as well, so Gary just going to be playing this down along the ground, trying just to keep it away. And the aggression not going to pay off so far for the We Score More side. I think they were just expecting some sort of fake from Gary, and Toph's the real threat because Gary is just killing this ball, letting it be free, and the fake comes through. They over-aggress We Score More, and Toph's just allowed to take this up the field, corral the Goose away, and get it straight into the net for a hat-trick lead. It's going to be back towards this goal immediately, though, but Gary denying any offense from Computer. Goose has to just play this slow, but Gary going to find a crack immediately, and they're letting it slip away. We Score More. They cannot find any way to get this ball out of their end, and every time they try to think of something crafty, it's just a fast shot just immediately from one of these two orange boys. Computer gonna be able to kill it mid, and that's an early play from Goose, but Toph just allowed to kill it off the air, and that's gonna be a playback mid. Computer touching it high, trying to dribble it past, and does manage to get it down, but Toph to clear it away, and with 0 boost and Goose already a little bit too committed, Gary does try to get it away. Goose managing to get back and deny it along the ground, but almost into the halftime mark, and they're trailing by 4. We Score More have to try to find some way to, don't kick me for saying it, but score more. They're trying to fight back into this, but Goose does see a crack, gets it over towards the wall, can't quite find the goal, and Computer just being pumped away by Toph, absolutely bullied here in the orange end. And with 2 minutes, Goose does kill it back towards the orange end. Computer follows, but that's too much of a commitment. Gary's just allowed to get this up midfield. Goose luckily able to get back in time, but they're just gifting the ball into their end with an open goal. Toph does get back barely in time. Goose trying to follow with a fast shot. That's going to be a minute 50. 4 goals still just to equalize. And Computer has to try to catch just back towards the orange end. He does, but Toph to the corner. Does try to touch it away, and Gary forced to play it off his own crossbar to clear. Toph a good follow, gets it back to the blue end, but Elder Goose just trying to find something. A shot. It's going to be going towards Gary and killed towards Computer, who does have 50 boost, gets a touch towards goal, but an easy clear for Toph. That's going to be passed back over to the wall yet again. It seems like they're just trying to get some sort of hit down towards mid. Computer does find a hit mid, but with 0 boost, it's just going to be left for Gary, and Gary just killing it back over towards this corner, and We Score More. Their 3 minutes has turned to 1, and they just can't seem to find anything. Goose starting a play back up yet again, but touched early by Toph, and Computer caught out as well. It's a ball just being left in front of this goal. It is one out by Computer, and with 50 boost, he could try to play this. It's back over to Goose. Can't quite get the connection, and that's just going to leave it to the wall. And Gary does allow a crack in the armor, and Goose is trying to set up for something, but Toph too quick on the clear. Back to the wall, 35 seconds. They're trying to get it over into the midfield, but Toph, he's just spinning in the air. He's having the time of his life. They're up 4 goals, in their playoff point. And they are just having the game of their life. And Gary, what? That's some disrespect, my man. But they know it. They know it's over. And Gary just allowing the shame of a 0-5. Maybe not. Oh, okay, yeah. Allowing the shame of a 0-5 to not be granted. So we score more, but a 0-4 it will be. And the game going to be one out from Valley Esports. And they fought hard. We score more to try to fight back in. But a victory secured here from Valley Esports, and they will move further into the playoffs.